Somebody gotta let me know y'all up in here. Cause this is a conversation that we definitely need to have. Oh my God, do somebody please say it ain't so. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to Docs Daily, where you get highly classified documentations from me, your boy Sean Blazy. Ha ha ha. But ain't nothing funny though. We gonna let it marinate a little bit. Jay-Z is back outside, and nobody asked him to come and play. I'm wondering what y'all think about this. Y'all wanna know what I think about this? This is sort of like that cool dude in your high school, the captain of the football team, always got the freshest clothes, new Jordans, girls all over him. You admire him from afar. You're not hating whatsoever. You see him doing his thing. You celebrating his reign. Then, after all that's gone, all of the glory done turn to dust. All of the praises and accolades come to a halt. He find himself in some trouble in life. He ain't doing it like how he used to do it. Then all of a sudden, he want to come and have a conversation with you. Now he want to sit down and shoot and have conversations about his heyday, his glory years, to the person that used to sit in the back of the class. You wasn't even popping like that. You wasn't even on his radar. Now he want to sit down and have a conversation with you. This is like that pretty girl in your school. Everybody loved her. She's the prom queen. All of the ballers want to date her. She never even looked in your direction. And the time she did look in your direction, she said, ew, and kept it moving. Then years later, when she's not so pretty, got a gang of kids, life done bit her in her ass. Now she want to sit down and talk to you. Now she want to have a conversation. She want to catch up. She want to brag and gloat about her heyday and everything. And you just supposed to sit there and listen. I'm talking about a person that never wanted to talk to you ever before. Jay-Z ain't did no interviews. We ain't seen him sit down and talk to nobody. But now he's all over the internet doing these custom interviews. He too good to go sit down with Vlad. He ain't trying to talk to the art of dialogue. It's looking like he's paying for his own interviews to stay relevant so he can continue to make some change on the chitlin circuit. We're about to get into this. I could be wrong, but there's a few things I want to run by y'all. And let me know what y'all think about it. Listen at this, y'all. Hold on.
Never fight against the future. Future's coming. Artists, they were trying to recreate something that was already done, but they're not connected to it like that. They're not living it and breathing it. They were fighting against gravity as opposed to telling their story. We needed that other side. We needed to hear about what happens when you've had 4 successful albums. What happens? What is that feeling like? How do you make the next one? How did you get in the studio?
What do it matter when the rap game is dead? Hip hop is done, and this is just a sign to let people know that it's over. There ain't gonna be no new artists. There's not gonna be no new wave. There's not gonna be no new nothing. It's in the dirt. Especially when you got Jay-Z out here speaking on hip hop. Africa Bang Bottoms just died, and this who we left with. I feel uncomfortable.
How are your kids? How do you interact with them as this hip hop dad? But if you're trying to make young music and you're not young, it's gonna be inauthentic, and people could feel that. You could smell it. So the best thing that anyone can do, like going through music.
Yeah, you did that for like 20 years. Ball so hard, want to find me. Can't find me. Somebody please remind me. And it was awkward. Every album after A Hard Knock Life was a struggle to keep up with the youth. Because he was 40 years old when that album came out. And I'm not trying to diss Jay-Z or nothing like that. But I played Tekken 7. And if he's not trying to be Leroy, what the hell is he doing? I'm so pissed off that this man is out here talking and people are being forced to listen to this stuff. They might as well start doing interviews with Bill Cosby. They're saying that they learned things from his latest interview. Like, people, this is educational. He's Yoda or something when it comes to rap. How he works through his writing process. Oh, the AI can do it better. That's where we at with it. The AI can do it a whole lot better. The hell with his writing skills. Chat GPT got him beat. So what is he talking about for real? Iggs in Paris was one of his most rewarding moments as a songwriter. Mind you, I know it sounds like I'm a Jay-Z hater, and I'm trying to let y'all know that I'm not. Matter of fact, just follow me on this. Jay-Z opened up about his admiration for being able to drop hits that fill the nightclub dance floors and take over radio stations. And yes, he did. And thinking back on it, we was all a bunch of lames. But making sure the tracks and bars are packed with substance, even if fans don't realize it on the surface. One example is him tucking the marginalized black experience behind the ooplet swagger and decency on niggas in Paris. Now they trying to convince me that NWA was some civil rights activists. Iggs in Paris, I think as a writer, those are some of my finest moments. He must have fell and bumped his head. My most rewarding moments are to make something people are just dancing to, having a good time. But the theme of it is just wow. It still has the connotation of racism and how people look at you. You calling yourselves niggas in Paris? The French relationship with Africa, and then the money. It's a lot of deep things just happening at one time. He's trying to convince people that he did something phenomenal by talking about some niggas in Paris. And it's a whole lot of them too. Fighting for hip hop's respect remains the mission. So he's still on his Dougie Fresh. He willing to go down to the URL and set up a battle rap with Charlie Clips just to prove to the youngsters that he still got it. This is a bad look. He's showing some love to Clips for their authenticity. The Clips sound like Jay-Z, Pusha T, and Malice. When they first came out, I thought they was the Twix version of Jay-Z knockoffs. Grinding, I push a wig back to the back, and then I hop on the track, and then I lay back in the Maybach, man. They sounded like mini Jay-Z's, and he want to give them props, talking about they authentic. How? That's like saying J. Cole is authentic. You heard of Jay-Z? Well, my name's J. Cole. And guess what? I'm signed to Jay-Z. The whole rap game lame, and I'm glad it's dead. Believes Beyonce prefers producing over songwriting. What that got to do with the tea in China? Or the rice in Africa? The samosas in Afghanistan? What we talking about here, man? Jay-Z called Beyonce an underrated songwriter, but he believes she actually prefers producing over writing. However, he's never actually asked her that question, but planned to do so following the interview. Probably because they're not really married like that. They got a staged relationship for the stage. Staged everything. They got kids for appearances, allegedly. They bring them kids out when it's time to do award shows. Besides that, they were their real parents. Jay-Z ain't seen Beyonce since the Grammys. How that's your wife? Do they sleep in the same bed every night? I doubt if they living like the Huxtables. Y'all think it's a sitcom or something with Jay-Z and Beyonce. He come home, Beyonce in the kitchen. They sit down, eat TV dinners with the kids, and I doubt if that's the case. He's speaking on her, don't even know the answers to his own damn questions, talking about I'm going to go ask her some shit after I leave the interview. Come on, man, this is a bad look. He reflecting on writing Still Dre for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. That came out 30 years ago, man. How old can you be? It's embarrassing for him to even be speaking right now. It'd be better If Jay-Z just ain't said nothing else, listen.
Music is to tell a story, and just keep creating from that space. I love what the Clips are doing right now, and how it's authentic to them, and they're telling us.
Nigga, it ain't 1994. He talking about the Clips. Come on, Jay. Oh my God, man, I'm over here stuck, man. The Clips just as old as he is. Talking about he excited what the Clips doing. Is he lost in time? They about due for another Back to the Future movie, and I think he'll be a great candidate for the leading role. I don't know what he thinking, but now is not the right time for any of this, man. We gonna keep it moving, because I could stay here and dwell on this for a long time, but we gotta keep it moving. Listen to this.
It's a flow state. It's like, I can't explain it. I'll happen upon a word, and I'm like, man, I don't even know how I knew that word, especially earlier. Or some type of vibe will come through, and I'll say, why does that work so perfect? And I'm sure other writers gonna relate to this.
We ain't doing none of that. See, he doing these interviews to remind people of his music, because people ain't heard it in a while. And I must say, the last time I heard Reasonable Doubt, I had to turn it off. It sounded like I was in somebody's basement and I didn't want to be there. It felt like I was sitting with DJ Premier or whatever with them old samplers back in the day. It was not a good feeling listening to Reasonable Doubt recently. It made me feel bad when I turned it on, because it reminded me of how old I really am. The drums was dusty, the snares was all faded. It lost its luster real bad. The samples is goofy. Dun, 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 dun. Now, back in the day, when you had on them hard stone-washed jeans, you might bust a mean two-step to that shit. But not now. He trying to remind people that once upon a time in ancient history, he was the man. They got him with the dookie rope chains. This like talking about Kool Moe Dee or Slick Rick or something. He was around during that time. Okay, Big Daddy Kane. It's about to be 2030. We in the future, and he trying to get us to focus on the past. Grandpa, go sit your ass down. Ooh, excuse my language. See, I ain't trying to disrespect the legend. I figure I'd get on here and vent a little bit, because this got me in my feelings. We would rather hear from Beyonce. And, hey, she sit up there with the cleavage all out, thick with it, legs crossed, talking, looking all luscious. We would rather have, we don't want to look at Jay-Z. This some old Jabba the Hutt. If he ain't talking about Star Wars, we don't want to talk about it. Do he got a science fiction movie coming out? There's people that hate his guts.
Jay-Z attempts a comeback. He schedules this interview with GQ. That was a scripted interview. They knew the questions beforehand. He answers the questions on cue. But the purpose of this interview...
Ooh, Daddy Zesty. Hold on, wait a minute. I know he didn't get his shit done. He got on more makeup than Eddie Murphy on Coming to America, y'all. Why he got on all that makeup? Then got the nerve to be sassy with it, speaking on Jay-Z. I don't know how I feel about this, man. Zaddy done got zesty. Wait a minute. Did he really do what I think he just did? Wait a minute. Hold on. Look.
Jay-Z attempts a comeback. He schedules this interview with GQ. That was a scripted interview.
Lip gloss popping. What's going on? I'm starting to blame Jay-Z for all of this stuff. The way them pants was real tight around his hips when he was doing that interview, it just wasn't right. Did Beyonce approve of his outfit before he left the house? It's starting to get sickening. What he be thinking when he be looking back at himself in the mirror and them jeans is gripping his lower half? He can't be comfortable.
They knew the questions beforehand. He answers the questions on cue. But the purpose of this interview was to convince us that him and Rock Nation aren't as terrible and evil as the world is making it out to seem. I think at some point during this interview, he did say they're going on the offense this year and not the defense, meaning they're going to be proactive in trying to deconstruct the narratives instead of letting the narratives fester and then have to send copyright strikes and go after independent small creators who are just doing their job by reporting on the treachery of Rock Nation.
And the truth is, at the end of the day, it still reigns supreme.
When you're feeling these feelings, how do you then bounce back and get back to being Jay-Z?
I don't know. This is the first thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
Actually, it was just like, all right, man, we played enough defense. 2026 is all offense.
Politicians perfected this skill, but the upper echelon of celebrities have also taken on this skill, which is making a scripted interaction look like it's genuine. If you watch this interview with an untrained eye, you would probably think, oh, this is just a genuine conversation. They're just going with the flow. No, this conversation was scripted from stop to start. Like, for God's sakes, they had a 60-year-old wearing grills and an almost 40-year-old dressed like Miles Morales.
Damn, I ain't know homie was 40 years old. Why they do that? That's so dumb, man. They made him wear them grills to appeal to a southern audience? Like he ain't bougie? They can't be serious with this. They put some grills in his mouth just to get them young chicken heads to tune in. He looked like he ain't left the house in a year, just threw on whatever he had in the closet. Them might be Basquiat clothes. That might be Basquiat jacket. They put a grill in his mouth to make him more relatable to the people. And whoever this is, I thought this was Skate from Streets of Rage. And his Air Force is dirty. Man, Jay-Z need to go on with this stuff, man. I'm trying to tell you, it's not a good look. People talking about him bad. People not going to be entertained at that concert. He come out there, that shit is going to be old. His audience going to have to go to bed early. I hope he's planning on doing that tour at like 2 p.m. That way it'll be over by 5. And his fans could get home and get some sleep. It's going to be smelling like Ben Gay up in there for the whole damn concert. Look at this.
Going crazy, man. I know you had some thoughts about him working with GQ and not Bleak. But, there was also, a few interesting things from this interview, man. What all did you take from it?
I took from it, it's like he up to something. It's like he's trying to clean up some type of image. He don't do interviews. He been outside a lot and doing a lot. Everything he do is strategic. Mind you, you got this it's like a little kid that's 20-something interviewing somebody 60. It just look like, it look like it's a setup. He told him what to ask him. Make sure you ask him no hard questions, no stuff that people really want to know. And it's like, it wasn't really an interview. Because of course, with Jay-Z, he can go to any place, GQ, y'all want to do an interview with me, I'm going to give y'all the questions. And I want to edit it before it come out. So it's not an authentic thing. It ain't like a real like something like what's Oprah Winfrey girlfriend name? Gail or interviewing him is to be different. You know what I'm saying? So I looked at it like it's all a thing for image. You know what I'm saying? Then he come out do the Yankee Stadium things like, I mean, then he doing a Roost picnic out here. I think it's all for image. Cause Jay-Z don't care about nobody. Nobody. I'm talking about for sure. And yeah, people say you hating all that, bro. I don't got no hate for the boy at all. I'm just saying. I just see what he do. I know how he move. Bro, you don't be a billionaire by caring about people. You know what I'm saying? You don't be bro. Most people will never have a billion because they will take care of their family. They will take care of their community. They will never have a billion. So if you got $1 billion and you from the hood, that say a lot, bro. I mean, because at the end of the day, you come from a place where you see everybody struggling, and you got the means to take care of everybody where you from. I mean, and without even hurting you. You know what I'm saying? And you still don't do it. I mean, so, you know, and everything he do for people, like, I do prison reform. You don't care about nobody in prison. Everything he do is for show. You know what I'm saying? So when I see him do an interview, I'm like, oh, here you go. Mind you, I ain't mad at him. He not playing the game. He played the game. He won the game. But, I mean, a lot of people got so much love for him. When I say something about him, they get mad at me. Like, I'm like, bro, you think about the song. You're not thinking about the person. You know what I'm saying? He my second favorite rapper of all time after Biggie. You know what I'm saying? But I still don't put his person, like, how he is as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, not everything about him, of course, but the main that I can't put it this way, I can't look up to him. You know what I'm saying? I can't look up to him. Not as far as man stuff. I can look up to him in business. You know what I mean? But not his man stuff. He do a lot of backdoor stuff, man. I mean, his image is everything. You know what I mean?
What do he mean by backdoor stuff? What do you mean by that? He can't respect Jay-Z because he do a lot of backdoor stuff. What's this talk that this man is talking? Now I gotta do a little bit of the investigations my damn self, man. Y'all hold on. Let me get this together real quick. I don't like it. Hold on, y'all. We gotta talk about this. Cause something ain't right. I remember when Jazzo said what Jazzo said, and I was looking like they clipped the internet. Hold on, this it right here. Listen.
Jay Beans? Jay and Beans? Yeah. Yo, all that's eventual. All I gotta tell y'all is I told y'all in 2002, and y'all ain't believe me. I told y'all that nigga was a crab, and y'all ain't believe me. You know what I'm saying? How many accounts gotta come up? Dane, Biggs, R. Kelly, Kiss, Beans. I mean, the list go on. That nigga's a crab. It ain't no hate involved, but you know, you gonna see. He's still biting my step. Jazzo's the best. Secret Society with Jay-Z, man. He's involved, but he's involved with this shit, man. He involved with that play shit. Like, see, people don't understand the science behind Satan, Lucifer, and God. And if you notice, he calls himself Jehovah or Hove. And before they start retranslating, you know, the New American version of the Bible, you know, Jehovah was known as a jealous God in the Bible. But I'm gonna give people the simple and general understanding that all of those people, many of those prophets in the Bible, and even when you talk about these different deities in the Bible, they were not people. Even when you go into the Egyptian pantheon, like, they weren't people. But as far as Homeboy, like, it's really a bunch of Masons. See, the whole Freemason thing is based on a lower level of understanding. Like, the real secrets have never been revealed. They weren't supposed to be revealed. So all these people, they walking around like they know something for real, but they don't really know shit. You know, and he doing those little signs and all of that. Those are symbols that have been out there. They've been propagating them shits for a few thousand years. Number one, anybody who knows high magic knows that those shits don't have any power anymore. Number two, you know, everybody knows what they basically mean, like the understanding of it. Like, you know, as far as...
Jazz, to see, that's the reason why he ain't never go platinum, man. He going over their heads with this stuff. I follow what he talking about, but come on, Jazz. We live in the times of the pigs, man. He's speaking to the pigs, but he not saying oink, oink. That's the reason why nobody took him seriously. But to break it down to what this man is trying to say is basically the man With one eye in the land of the blind is king. So he giving Jay-Z his props. He got one eye all right, but it ain't like he got two. But that one is enough to get over on the blind. But that's Negro here, no. And there's a lot of people with these same feelings and accounts about Jay-Z. And now that he's back out in the open, having these conversations that's not about anything deep. And we all know that he got a higher consciousness than he's putting off to the public. That's why he seemed nervous in his interviews, because he know he got to keep it on the ground level. He know he can't get metaphysical or scientifical with no damn CQ or GQ magazine or whatever. He can't go there with New York Times. He got to keep it basic and talk about niggas in Paris and all that bullshit that really don't mean nothing. Writing Still Dre for Dr. Dre. Jay-Z also reflected on getting into Dr. Dre's psyche when penning Still Dre for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg Still Dre. Served as a 2001's lead single, and after initially peaking at number 93 on the Billboard Hot 100, the West Coast legend staple hit had a second life on the chart, number 23. Blah, 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 blah. Who cares? 444 was the most difficult album to make. Probably because them samples, if them samples gave me a headache, I know they had to give him a headache. That's not an album you could just turn up and listen to. You got to listen to that on low. Because when that song starts, before you know it, you're going to be like, man, somebody turn this shit off. The beats was killing them. That's probably why it was so hard to write. And I wouldn't even have all of this animosity if he would have just stayed somewhere as a legend. He could have been King Arthur on the throne somewhere for all we've known. He could have been in a mansion, marble floors, golden chairs, platinum plaques on the wall. All we could have did was use our imagination. Like, okay, one thing we do know is that he got a bag. But now it's looking like that's the furthest thing from the truth with him coming out doing these public interviews. The public don't like him no more. And the public really don't care for Beyonce like that. Her fans got yeast infections due to them Wrangler jeans she had them wearing all summer with that Cowboy Carter madness. Look. Matter of fact, I'm going to do this real quick. And we're going to make this make sense. Matter of fact, put that on. Come on. Let's do this. Come on. Get it together. Y'all with me? Okay, here we go. Let's make this happen real fast. Let's make it make sense a little bit. Because y'all know it's Michael Jackson season. And I'm about to do another Docs Daily on him real soon. So y'all got to stay tuned. Let's talk about it, man. What a slap in the face. I was watching a lot of Michael Jackson recently because the movie is coming out and I wanted to see the comparisons between him and his nephew. Now, if they would have used his nephew for when he started Bleaching Bad, that would have been a better movie. Because this is what his nephew looked like. His nephew ain't never gonna look like that. It looked like the Jermaine Jackson biopic. But the point I'm trying to make here is that this is the height of Michael Jackson's career. Everything about him, this is what cemented him as a pop star. When you see the Motown 25 or whatever, and he got the glove on, he do the moonwalk, he been doing that same move the rest of his whole career. Ain't nothing changed. He still use the glove. He still do the steps. He do the moonwalk. He ain't come up with a new move, a new nothing since way back then. He was riding the wave of Thriller for the rest of his life. He did after. He figured, hell, I done made $1 billion off of Thriller. So people just went along for the free fall. Every concert after that, he was redoing the Billie Jean dance. From the Moonwalker, all that. And it's like that with some artists. They strike it real big. I mean, you go diamond, people gonna be riding that wave for a long time. Plus, he was with the Jackson 5. So all of this that he did afterward was just a slap in the face. This is him spending money. He solidified himself with Motown, so he just went ahead and chopped it up, chopped and screwed it. He should have moved to Houston with all the chopping and screwing he was doing with his situation. God damn. Excuse my language. But it's really a slap. We had to endure him do this, change. And there's a lot of black people that if they had the money, they'll be out here looking like Michelle Pfeiffer if they could. Y'all see what Lil' Kim did when she got... It's a lot of black people that look like this. If they could, boy, if they could afford it, they'd be looking like Tom Hanks. Michael just had the nerve to do it. It's a lot of y'all out there look in the mirror and you not impressed. The rumor is he got mad with Bubbles and said, fuck this monkey I ain't doing this no more. You're on your own, Bubbles. But that's neat. And the reason why I pull him up is because Beyonce did the same thing. I ain't talking about as far as she did the bleaching too. But her wearing that cowboy hat, acting like she Dolly Parton, knowing damn well she was doing hip hop music, talking about she wasn't a soldier, had Lil Wayne on the track. She was all up in the black community and decided that she wanted to cross over real bad. Then you got idiots talking about, well, black people invented country music. Black people invented all genres of music, but they wasn't out there with them cowboy boots on looking like that. But that's what I'm gonna leave that alone. That's Negro here no day. Jay-Z want to come along for the ride, but he don't know how to do it. He in her shadow, and he don't like it. He trying to do his own thing. He back on the circuit doing interviews and stuff, and it's not a good look at all because he look uncomfortable, and that's what make us uncomfortable. Look at this.
Story about their mom and dad who just passed away and how deep that is with John Legend singing on the chorus and like, you know, everything that they've been through is an authentic display, a piece of classic material that it could have came out 96.
Man, the hell with the interview. Roll some dice. That's what we need to be seeing right now, man. Pick up a pool stick. Talk that gangster shit. Dunk a ball, man. Get on the court. Dribble between the legs. Skip the interview, bro. If you really want to be down, eat a 2-piece live. And don't forget the biscuit and pour honey on top of everything. Do he eat lemon pepper wings? He trying to get in good graces with the modern black community. You gonna have to go through some hoops and bounds, man. Do a TikTok. He ain't got no comedy skits. What he ain't cooking no tenderism. He better make a rib and make sure that shit fall off the bone if he trying to get back in good graces with the modern day black community. He better be in support of BBLs or something. Because talking about the past is not going to cut it, bro. The dreads ain't working neither. And I feel like he figure as long as he got the dreads, he good with the black community. But that ain't going to, he going to have to switch it up. Because what he talking about, don't nobody care about that. He going to have to do some modern nigga shit for people to pay him attention. Listen at this.
What's poppin', y'all? Legend Jay-Z has been going on his press run for this year. We don't know what it's leading up to, but I don't think he anticipated, him and his team, what would come of it, because this clip says a lot.
I tell people all the time, never fight against the future. The future's coming. Artists, they were trying to recreate something that was already done, but they're not connected to it like that. They're not living it and breathing it. They were fighting against gravity as opposed to telling their story. We needed that other side. We needed to hear about What happens when you've had 4 successful albums? What happens? What is that feeling like? How do you make the next one? How did you get in the studio? How are your kids? How do you interact with them as this hip hop?
Man, it ain't even that deep, bro. It ain't never gonna be that deep. To him, he think it's that deep. He think it's all about rap and entertainment. We passed that. Everybody an entertainer in 2026. Your stardom is worth shit to a motherfucker that got 100,000 followers on Instagram. It's big booty chicks out here doing more numbers than Jay-Z and Beyonce put together on OnlyFans. Don't give a damn about after you sold 4 albums. Good for you. We would imagine that you living your life and you rich and who gives a damn. You can't fight the future. It's over with, man. There's nothing left to talk. That's like showing up to the party late. We done already packed up, fixed plates. We headed out the door, and here he go talking about hip hop, the hip to the hip, the hip hop, the boogie, don't stop the rhythm to the bang bang boogie, the up jump the boogie to the rhythm to the boogie to beat. And we looking like, man, we did that about 50 years ago. He show up to the party all late, like we supposed to sit around and wait for him to spit his little week 16. People not even rapping like we don't came across mumble rap, thought rap, whole hoochie rhymes. See, he turned it into KRS-One. And somebody need to pull him to the side and say, hey, those aren't the people you need to be talking to. He better off doing an interview in Japan. And they would appreciate him a whole lot better than we would. He need to go overseas. Go to Tokyo and do an interview. They would treat him really nice and appreciate him for the contribution to music or whatever the case. Like, konnichiwa, jiga my nigga, yeah. He might get offended and crash out in China and they send him back in the goddamn straight. Send him back in the straight jacket. One thing for sure, he ain't getting no love over here, y'all.
Pop dad. But if you're trying to make young music and you're not young, it's gonna be inauthentic. And people could feel that. You could smell it. So
Smell like old diapers and Depenses, man. Smell like an old ass nigga with dreads trying to rap. How the hell you gonna make an old ass album? He trying to encourage people, old people, to get back in the booth. Niggas, they looking for their teeth right now. So they can get back in that booth and rhyme a little something for the youngsters, rap about being old. I get hyper blood pressure and diapers. I promise ain't nobody trying to hear that, man. Some old ass nigga that need to sit down. And what's wrong? If he really has some, I don't want to talk too bad about Jay-Z. Because I see the struggle on his face. He hoping, he fishing. He looking for a connect so he can get back out there and have people show up to the show and take him seriously. He talking like he not going to perform none of his old songs when he was young. Because he going to look silly as hell spitting them gun bars and them talking about them drug deals. And he been corporate for a long ass time. His best bet is to denounce music altogether as far as hip hop goes. And say we need a revolution. He need to get with Nas and figure out a new art form or something that's wholesome at this age. He could put some money, some backing into something that's more holistic than whatever it is he's talking about. It failed. And he played a large contribution to it, man. Don't try to be a scholar about this after you King Ho, American Gangster, sold all the dope, kill it. He was laughing and bragging about killing the damn community. Now he trying to, man, get out of here. They need to get like a rubber band and flick it at his ass the next time he try to do an interview. Like, what's going on here? This ain't an interview. What you doing? Yo, let go of my belt. Let go of my, what you doing? You gonna spank me? You gonna spank me in front of everybody? What's going on here? They need to give him a spanking before he sit down and do another interview. Look at him.
Best thing that anyone can do, like going through music, is to tell their story, and just keep creating from that space. I love what the Clips are doing right now, and how it's authentic to them, and they're telling the story about their mom and dad who just passed away, and how deep that is, with John Legend singing on the chorus, and like, you know, everything that they've been through is an authentic display, a piece of classic material that it could have came out 96 or come out 20.
He want to talk about everything except for Epstein Island. Y'all see that? That's why he talking. He trying to change the conversation. He don't want to talk about Epstein Island. We seen him in the Big Pimpin' video. Where the fuck was they going? Or where was they coming from? They better not have filmed that video on Epstein Island. He nervous as hell trying to change the conversation. You know, hip-hop is an art form, and everybody got to get back into it, you know, because when old niggas rap, young people listen. But if young people listening to old people rap and old people rapping about young people stuff, it's going to smell different, because when we use the bathroom, it's not like how young people use the bathroom. Oh, I just used the bathroom on myself. What about Epstein Island, ho? Let me do the interview. Like, yeah, that's cool, reasonable doubt and all that. Yeah. But what's this talk about you being cool with Harvey? Well, we seen you with Harvey Weinstein, but on top of that, you was on Epstein Island with the kids, and you and Beyonce with the kids and all that. What's this talk about your kids not being your kids? Something with some surrogates on Epstein Island. Some dolphins and shit. What's this talk about them dolphins giving birth to surrogate kids, Epstein Island, all this weird shit? Jay, what's that all about? Like, well, first of all, I don't want to have to get intellectual, because we talking about hip-hop. Hip-hop is not an intellectual property whatsoever. If you want to get intellectual, you better off doing TED Talk or something. I'm here to spit about gun bars and things. When you rhyme this with that and put kitty cat, you might get a call from Uncle Luke. I'm just saying. See, there's something about the illables and syllables in my rhyme. See, when I said ain't no nigga, that's when the audience said jigga. I didn't write jigga, my nigga. The audience did that at one of my shows when I came out on stage, and that's when I knew that I was jigga, my nigga. Oh, one of my most defining moments is when I did Niggas in Paris. Can you believe African people and French people together singing my songs? Like, oh my God, it was literally niggers in Paris. That's the type of conversations he's trying to have with the people. He fighting for hip hop. He fighting for hip hop respect. He gearing up like he Rocky. He about to go out there and fight a heavyweight bout just for to put the graffiti with the goddamn breakdancing. Hip hop's respect. He about to do another 8 Mile. It's gonna be Jay-Z versus Papa Dot. At this rate, Niggas in Paris was one of his most rewarding moments as a songwriter. Like when I sat down and wrote that song, N-I-G-G-Ace in Paris, huh? Like the fashion sense, the tight jeans, the blouses, the shoes, the man purses. It was just niggas in Paris. What the fuck, man? It's hard for people to take him seriously nowadays. Listen.
For me, if you got $1 billion, you shouldn't have to worry about what nobody think about your image.
Do you have an example of something you could think of that he did, or
Yeah, it was. They got a daughter in Maryland. They won't say it in front of everybody. I said something about it. It got on the news. People talked about it. Then he went down and gave her a little bit of money, right? Whatever.
a daughter, not a son?
Got a daughter and a son. I know a son too, right married, but his daughter too. A daughter he claimed on the low, right? My thing is this. I got 2 daughters. If I don't claim one of my daughters, they not gonna mess with me. They gonna cuss me out. They gonna feel hurt. Mind you, especially if I mess with another daughter in front of them on TV, and I'm older than them. Come on, you know how a daughter is. I don't know if you got a daughter, but the daughter's real sensitive. If you hit a daughter when she's 7, she'll remember that shit when she's 45. Dad, remember you smacked me when I was in 2nd grade? You know what I mean? So my thing is this: if I got $1 billion and I got a daughter, I don't care who my baby mom is. I don't care what the world think. My daughter coming with me. She gonna work wherever. She gonna be close to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not having her somewhere else. Not denying her that her mom died. And the same thing with the boy Ramir. So I told Ramir, I said, bro, remember, whether it's your dad or not, the world will have backlash for you. They love him. You know what I'm saying? So get ready for it. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, I don't want no money. I just want to. You know what I mean? Jay-Z did everything in his power to not take the DNA test, and the boy Ramir don't have a mom. You know what I mean? My thing is this: if you're a man, like, bro, I took 2 DNA tests I did not want to take because I wouldn't know if that was my son or not, right? Men don't run away from stuff like that, especially when you was popping his mom, especially when you don't got no other dad and his mom is deceased. How can I respect you for that? But mind you, now the most people that don't take care of their kids is because they don't have it. They just don't have no money. They embarrassed. Well, you got enough bread, so you can say, bro, you know what, bro? Me and you, I'm gonna go get you. We're gonna take the test by ourselves. That's just man stuff. I hate when somebody think they're too big to be a father, or too big, they too much of a celebrity, they can't do regular stuff. I mean, that's because the world treat them like that. You know what I'm saying? I look at man as a regular person.
Oh,
I mean,
man, wait. See, this is a part of the conversation that we got to have tonight, y'all. We got to have this conversation right now. Right now. Let's do it. Come on, I ain't playing no more. Let's have this conversation, y'all, while we still can. All right, let's do this. Oh, my God. Excuse me. Oh, man, this is bad. This is bad, man. They put him in a movie. Jay-Z was in there. They put him in the movie with Beans. And you ask yourself why. Why did they do this? Why did they get all them dudes from Philly together to come to Rockefeller? That's because in New York City, there was people that was ready to go to war with Jay-Z, Dame Dash, the Memphis Bleak. That's all they had. It was people in New York City ready to rip that head off. I'm talking about Mobb Deep. Nas was gunning the Terror Squad, talking about how they shot bottles at Dame Dash head, had Jay-Z in the trunk. It was getting real goofy for them in New York City. They went out there and got some crash dummies. Like Eminem said, them toy soldiers, they went out there and got a bunch of toy soldiers from Philly with nothing to lose that'll bust your head wide open for a goddamn cheesesteak. And they knew that. So this is what kept his street credibility on lock. Because if you had a problem with him, you had to go through him. And Beans ain't know his ABCs at the time. And his connection with Dame Dash, we don't know how weird can get. Because Beans was built like Questlove on the drums back in the day. And Dame Dash had a certain flavor. They saying he was a zesty daddy in Harlem, had Cameron wearing pink. Joel Santana with chains on, with Jim Jones with pigtails. Not to mention Lee Daniels snaked him out of $2 million. How you let Lee Daniels get you for $2 million? You a Harlem hustler. What the hell they had going on? They was all with it. Freeway and Beans and these people, they wasn't trying to find nobody more attractive than Jay-Z. That was the number one rule. As long as them niggas ain't outshining me, as long as I get more girls than them, bring their ass. And that's what they did. But this dude right here, Oshkino, I think that's how you say his name, a real hood rat. And when you listen to State Property, these dudes telling nothing but street tales, war stories, just ghetto grimy madness. And Jay-Z was using them to fuel his criminal image or whatever the case is. But from afar, looking at Jay-Z, they was looking at him like he was fooled. If he wasn't in position to write their checks, they would have ate him alive a long time ago. And seeing how he moved and how he did them and everything, now he back out there talking. They don't have nothing nice to say about the man. Hold on, listen to Jazz.
Pyramid and stuff like that I'm not really gonna go into. But I'm saying that simply to say that dude think he knows shit, but he still don't know shit. He could get as many degrees as he want, but it's just like trying to get all degrees you want, but you still got a ceiling. He can't go but so high because the people that he worshiping, that he kissing their ass and letting them feel him up and shit, they don't know shit. They trying to find out every day from us. That's why they follow hip hop. That's why they follow the blues. That's why they follow soul. That nigga's nothing. That's my son, unfortunately.
Damn. Hold on, man. Now, this is Jazz and Jay-Z back. He said that was his son. Now you got to question the relationship they had. What was really going on between Jay-Z and Jazzo back in the day to where that was his little mans? And they was with the New Wapians, Dr. Ben York, and there was a lot of weird stuff going on there. They was at the Nubian laundromat. They was New Wapian everything back then. All about Dr. Ben York. They was in that cult back in the Jay-Z. I bet he don't want to talk about that. Back when he was in that cult, him and Jazzo was them New Wapians. He holding a fist up for the Asiatic black man. Matter of fact, we're going to get into this real quick since we talking about it. Since he doing interviews, we really wouldn't even want to talk about this stuff. Hold up. Y'all see it? There it go, right there. The New Wapian Nation. The originators. He had it on his head, had it on his chest. You would have thought it was Earth, Wind, and Fire back then. Then ODB called himself Osiris. But this wasn't the Wu-Tang Clan. They was dead serious with this stuff, man. And how it all went down. On some Epstein Island shit, man. It went down just like Epstein Island. With them allegations. Hold on. Convicted cult leader Dwight York seeks compensated release citing rare medical conditions. So, hey, don't get it twisted. The master teacher was doing some serious teaching about them emos out of space, them dolphins and things. He was kicking some ballistics, but all that boiled down to some sick cult like activities on some Epstein Island. They sentenced him to 135 years in federal prison after being convicted of transporting minors across state lines for sexual abuse and related financial crimes in Putin County. He also pleaded guilty to dozens of child counts tied to abuse within the group he led at a sprawling 400-acre compound in south of Edenton. Don't that sound like some Jeffrey Epstein shit? Come to find out your boy was in the New Wapian Nation when he was a youngin'. Spitting, look, he had the African charm on too. So if they was about having them young boys under their wing, and Jazzo still talking about, I'm still his daddy, he's still my son. This is like the first Birdman and Lil Wayne situation. Hold on, I know they ain't have homie in the back with the funk guitar. Hold on, y'all need to see this real quick. It's only going, and Usually I would say I'm a Jay-Z fan, but after these interviews, I'm on the fence. Ugh.
They never come here, no, not this year. They go on the field, I'm ready to see it. I'm a jerk, tears, operator, pushing the data. I'm talking about
He looked possessed. They look like they under mind control, spitting them rhymes for the They probably hypnotized them before they started rapping. Look,
info attack, it's just a stumbling and bumbling.
stumbling and bumbling. So they getting drunk and doing God knows what behind closed doors.
The sucker inside is colder than not here before you roam.
He was a young Basquiat back in the day. He looked like Wayman from I'm Gonna. What was that movie? The shit with Keenan Ivory Wayans, a low down dirty shame. He looking like Wayman, and he was so inspired to be like Jazz back then. He was with his mentor. The body language, everything is just off back then. Hold on.
Like a millions of Nubians and Amorites can't understand the groove we're in. Cool it.
He rapping about them Nubians. Look.
Like so, the bigger the more becomes the bigger the merrier. Right. Inside of the mic was like a millions of Nubians and Amorites can't understand the groove we're in. Cool it, Mike.
I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But on the serious note, these are the origins of hip hop, rap music, you know. Hold on, y'all. These are the origins of hip hop. When you seen Jay-Z with Jazz and the Nubian Nation and the Zulu Nation and them brothers, you know, they coming together in New York City and they meeting at them temples, and fresh out of jail, Rikers Islands, nigga done did time in the tombs. And they come home and they back on the block. That don't mean the party gotta stop. I mean, some rugged OG gangsters done been to the Bing. And they get that knowledge of self, that understanding, that wisdom, my brother. And that gotta make, look, we ain't got all day. But now I gotta ask some questions. And I know people ain't gonna like this at all. This is gonna be the part where people leave the video and say, you know what, fuck him. And that's just the risk I'm willing to take. But we gotta have this conversation real quick. I hate to, to talk about this, but there's been conversations about this, man. And please forgive me, but we gotta talk about this. They trying to say, was Malcolm, some black activists are enraged by such a suggestion, but since there is nothing wrong with that, then why the fuss? Malcolm X's sexuality is not the most important thing about him. It's just one minor fragment of a man who was an extraordinarily powerful, effective voice in the African-American community. I don't like reading this, but what makes his sexual orientation significant are the attempts to hide and deny it. Controversy has been stirring since the publication of Bruce Willis's acclaimed biography, Malcolm, The Life of the Man Who Changed Black America, based on over 400 interviews. Malcolm's closest boyhood and adult friends, Perry, suggests that the U.S. black nationalist leader was not as robustly heterosexual as his Nation of Islam colleagues have always insisted. Okay, what the fuck? Hold on, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that Malcolm X's bestie, his childhood boyfriend, his boyhood and adult friends, said, wait a minute now, let me tell you something about Malcolm, Daddy. What was the nigga, Shorty, back in the day? I knew something was up with that scene in the movie. Look, this is black history I'm trying to teach you, young man. Try to keep your pants up. Remember the nigga Shorty in the movie? They was getting perms together. Now, what man go out with another man to get a perm? They was in the beauty shop getting their hair did, and he had to wash it out in the toilet because it was so hot. And they would put on them suits. They be strutting like some young hoochies or whatever. Okay. He went to jail, and Shorty had to hold him down. Now, hey, I know I don't like talking about this stuff neither, man. Malcolm X's real name, Malcolm Little, joined the militant Muslim 1949, attracted by his teachings that Allah would deliver black people from the white bondage. By 1960s, Malcolm had developed the NOI ideology, directions, everything. Perry Book's diverse experience during the early decades of his life. A schoolmate, Bob Beebe, remembers the day they stumbled on a local teenager doing what now? Hold on now. Malcolm Beebe ordered the youth to hold on. Wait. No, man. See, this that bullshit, man. I don't believe none of this. No. Later, from that age of 20, Malcolm had. Hold on, get the fuck out of here, man. As hinted in Spike Lee's 2019, I can't even read the biopic. He had at least one sustained affiliate with her. While living in Flint, Michigan, his roommate noticed this is when Malcolm sneaked down the hall to spend the night with the gay Willie Mae. What the I don't believe none of this, man. Wait a minute. They said what? Now, I remember in the movie, it was some, matter of fact, I got the book right here, man, the autobiography. Matter of fact, let me go through my collection real quick. Look, as told to Alex Haley, the autobiography, man, we're going to say this for another Docs Daily. All I'm trying to say is the origins of all of this stuff is questionable when it comes to African American history, man. We don't know who our leaders, what they had going on before they came. People were shocked about Africa Bambaataa, but hell, he get his history from where everybody else got their history from. The motherland, back to Africa, all that man, it could be tied into some weirdness. The whole, wasn't the nation formed from a bunch of dudes fresh out of jail? They was recruiting people when they was in jail. That's how Malcolm got recruited. Oh man, I ain't trying to be on this all night. Hold on. Look. It was some dude. He met him in the shower. I remember the scene. He was in the shower and the dude from the nation came up on him and started talking to him and everything. What type of details did they leave out in the damn movie, man? Man, I don't know. I'm going to leave it alone. He still had the perm in jail, too. But, hey, we going to leave that in the past. But when it come to Jay-Z and Jaz-O and the new Wapian Nation, that raised a lot of red flags, too. Especially with him talking about that was his son. This ain't Jamie Foxx from In Living Color, just in case y'all was confused with it. He looked like he said, "It's raining, man. Hallelujah, it's raining, man. Well, goddamn." I'm over it, man. They tried to do their De La Soul shit, whatever. We got to move on. Hey, I need to take a little break real quick, man, because this is messing my head up bad. I got to recalibrate. Y'all bear with me. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. This Doc's Daily taking me for a loop, man. He should have never came on and said nothing. He need to just go somewhere. Let Beyonce do the talking. Let your queen do the narration. Let Beyonce come out and speak about what's going on with Jay-Z. But he trying to get his own little bread. And I'll tell y'all where it all started, man. Y'all got to see this real quick. Let me type this in real fast. It's only going to take a second. Look at this. Okay. Recently, well, not so much recently, but on Beyonce's last tour, her last concert, whatever, Jay-Z came out and rocked the mic. I think it was in Atlanta. And people turned up. She was doing her cowboy shit. People was falling asleep, and Jay-Z came out there and breathed some life back into the arena. And he like, oh, they do love me. They do miss me. They want some of that Hove. But you figure if she's singing about 9 carriages and 16 horses, and people not feeling it like that, they in admiration because they looking at a bona fide superstar on the stage, but the music is not really resonating with the people like that. And Jay-Z come out with, excuse me, what's your name? And people start to get their little two-step on. In his mind, he thinking, hell, they want me back. At an achy breaky heart concert, hell yeah, people gonna listen to the music. But him carrying it by himself, if people showed up for the purpose of Jay-Z, and Mary J. Blige come out there 60 years old doing that dance, some stuff you just need to leave in the past. Look at this. Hold on, look.
I don't count nobody pockets neither, but I'm just saying, like, hey, come on, man, dog. Come on, man. You know when Nas was on your top, and you was getting shook up a little bit, you called the boys on him. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we came and shut it down because he was in danger. Yeah. This is the thing people don't realize. They don't realize that he came to told us to do that. Yo, act like they killed your cousin. That's all he kept saying. Act like they killed your cousin. I don't know Nas. Yeah, niggas was right. Nas, I ain't never Queens, you know what I mean? But I mean, up on this team right here, I'm riding. You know what I mean? So it's like, come on, dog. You always $1 million just for that. Because you could. Yeah, $1 million just for that, man. You know why I said that alone? Because you know, either there was a chance he could have lost that joint. Yeah. I mean, but then I was like, well, it's too many of them, man. I can't be like that. No.
He told them to act like he killed your cousin. He sicked them on Nas like some pit bulls. He got state property together to fight his battle against Nas. He ain't want to do it alone. Act like he killed your cousin. And that's exactly how they was acting in the studio. Listen.
Like Jay-Z to me is not a good person. I mean,
I can't do that one. Hold a look.
I mean, you gotta think, without Jay-Z, Memphis Bleak don't exist.
Damn, you really feel that way?
He won't exist. Why would he exist?
That's crazy.
Jay-Z held his hand. Mind you, listen,
no, I'm agreeing with you, but Memphis
Bleak is a good person.
That shit happened because he's a great rapper.
I like Memphis Bleak. He's a good person, but he would have never existed without Jay-Z. He would have never got signed by Jay-Z without him being his neighbor. If you listen to what all he talk about is Jay-Z. Man, I was in Jay-Z, had a $500,000 chip. I was a Jay. You know what I mean? Mind just cool, because mind you, I might be jealous because he got his best friend is a billionaire. Who knows?
I don't think that's jealous. I think it's
like, I don't like the fact that you think you got a voice and think you did something when you really didn't. You just got dragged along by your neighbor. So we give advice about what Dame should be doing or what Spice should be doing. You lucky you is in the position you were because you was Jay-Z neighbor. You lived in the right project at the right time. Think you're lucky stars. Stop talking like you that boy though.
Man, hey, this is where the question of secret societies come into play when it comes to people that made it real, real far in the music industry. You got to get in where you fit in. And I'm not making it seem like it's a terrible thing to be a part of an organization because, you know, what type of structure you going to have without organization? But it's just about how deep the rabbit hole goes and how long Has it been weird like that? Hey, let's do this real quick. Nope, put that on. Y'all listening? Okay, here we go. We gonna try to make this make sense tonight. Make sure I got this right for y'all, so I can get this all together. Okay, let's talk about it. I think this is good enough. All right. A lot of y'all don't know. Some of y'all do know. But this how the story go. Crush Groove, 1985. So, Run DMC, they had their group or whatever the case is, and Russell Simmons was trying to get the money to start Def Jam and wound up getting the money from some dude named JB or whatever. But one of the weirdest parts about the movie was Curtis Blow taking a liking to the Fat Boys. These dudes was all built like Missy Elliott with the trash bag on. They was some 3 big goofy dudes in New York City, and Curtis Blow took a liking to them Fat Boys. And before you know it, they started doing records and stuff, and Def Jam got off the ground. Russell Simmons was getting beat up by some dudes in halter tops, and it was just a weird story, man. So you had to crush something in order to get your groove on back in them days. And if you wasn't with it, you just wasn't going to be able to get a record deal like that. They kept them boys chunky for like 10 years. This was before the BBL. Them boys, they was fat, and they just had to have them around. He kept a man hand on his Johnson all the damn time with a BBW on his arm. Rest in peace to Buffy. It's sick when you think about it, because Curtis Blow was real skinny, and he just couldn't do without them Fat Boys. Now, I ain't saying they was zesty, but something definitely wasn't right. Sheila E. looked like a motherfucking man the whole movie. People thought she was Prince, and they was all fighting over her in the movie. That's another zest effect that took place back then. The way the Fat Boys ate them hot dogs without even chewing on them in the movie, that was suspect. We thought it was special effects, but it was 85. They had to swallow them hot dogs whole. This nigga had the anaconda before Megan Thee Stallion around his neck. Before Nicki Minaj, she was working with them anacondas. And Big Boy could handle a lot. They had to order custom bras just so they wouldn't burst out when they was filming their music videos. Y'all thought, hold on, let me show y'all something real quick. And I promise I ain't trying to make this zesty. Oh my God, do. Let's get this together real quick. Y'all listening? Okay, let's go. Oh no, this is bad. This is bad, man. This is bad. A lot of them video vixens wasn't even women's like that. They wasn't girls in no music videos. With your favorite rapper, they was in the Biggie. Biggie was hollering at them dudes. Biggie was putting that game down hard on old boy in his music video. Come to find out, it wasn't even a female that was spitting that real hard. And this was for the whole world to see. LL Cool J was licking his lips like something was delicious. He said, feed me couscous, love me good. Goddamn, from Hollis to Hollywood, and I'm still hood. He said, he, she. He started off the video talking about he, she. So you man, get this shit out of here, man. You fast forward this till now. Man, I need to take another break, man. It's getting too zesty. Matter of fact, let's just get back to the Jay-Z video. I ain't gonna be able to do this all night. Y'all listening? Okay, here we go. Come on.
26. It still feels the same because it's real and it's authentic to who they are.
So, of course, in the new clipping media that we're in, where the majority of people are consuming their content in short, bite-sized snapshots, where they're taking, the whole sentiment for an interview is coming from these short clips. Academics would react to this and give a little bit of a different spin on what Jay-Z was saying.
You see, I'm going to say the elephant in the room, man. This is hating Jay-Z once again. He talking to Drake, man. You know Drake turning 40 this year. He trying to like, yo, he one of them type of niggas gonna give you the bad advice that hopefully you follow. And then when you get unsuccessful, he be like, well, at least you tried. You know, at least, you know them people be like, well, at least you did it the right way. Man, if you don't get the fuck out of here, Jay-Z. Jay-Z had a whole career. That nigga said 30's a new 20 when he became 30. The nigga said, I'm young forever. And now that he's 70, he's trying to tell other, nah, y'all got to make music like y'all old now, man. Nah, don't do what I was doing, saying 30 the new 20, young forever. Y'all got to make, y'all got to leave the youth alone. Man, get the f out of here. I keep telling y'all, man, Jay-Z the type of, bruv, when he ready to, Jay-Z likes to put a bow on a lot of bull. The guy's 70. Half his life, Jay-Z was like 50 when he was like, yo, I'm young forever. What you mean you young forever? Let's go back and check out the math.
Somehow, he turns this into being shots taken at Drake. Yes, exactly, Drake. And what's also funny about academics is he talks about, like, yo, Jay-Z saying this when he's 70. Jay-Z is 56 years old. But when people say academics is 40, he's like, I'm not 40, I'm 34. Or 36. It's either 34 or 36. One of those two.
Oh, shit. Hey, man, I'm just here to let y'all know that hip-hop music is dead. The genre, everything about it, the fans is lame. Every part of it is just trash. And it's over. We got to come to terms with that, y'all. That's why the conversation is so wonky. People still trying to squeeze some juice out this lemon, and I promise y'all, it ain't not one drop left up in it. They straining on the toilet, ain't nothing coming with these hip hop conversations, y'all. All of the bloggers lame. They trying to squeeze a penny out this. I promise you, that's what people talking about absolutely nothing. And when it come time for Jay-Z to do his interview, he ain't talking about a damn thing. And that's what it boils down to, because it's irrelevant. It's a ghost. The ghost of hip-hop's past. It make me sick to my stomach. They done moved on. We got new technology out here. We got technology that surpassed. Hip-hop is an old, tired art form that's irrelevant. And now they trying to undermine society and trying to put us back up on the bullshit like it's relevant or as if it really matters or whatever, when it don't. It's really a slap in the face for him to be doing interviews, because that's like he feel like the public ain't got no sense. And the public really don't have no sense. It's a lot of idiots out here that'll say, yeah, cool to anything that the internet put out there. People willing to give it a sniff if it's out there, if it's pushed enough. That's all it really takes. It could be some garbage. If it's pushed enough, it can become a global sensation. That's all it boils down to. You be like, how did this person become famous for doing this bullshit? Somebody pushed it. You could put out it's people right now got amazing music on their hard drive. It's some women that been singing in the church, sing better than Jennifer Hudson, but ain't nobody pushed it. You got rappers rap better than Eminem locally. Ain't nobody pushed it. Then you got Blueface. So Whack 100, and he got behind some people that was willing to push his nonsense. And that's how he was able to get a name for himself. It's really that simple. You find yourself in the right system at the right time with the right push, anything can be possible. People be craving some oxtails. You make an oxtail video at the right time when they're craving for them oxtails, the year of the ox. Sometimes you got to look at the Chinese zodiac to see what time it is. You might go viral, depending on the push. Jay-Z trying to push out a turd with everything that he talking about. Look, I want y'all to look at this, man, and tell me if this don't sound sad to you. Listen.
I'll never fight against the future. Future's coming. Artists, they were trying to recreate something that was already done, but they're not connected to it like that. They're not.
All them damn samples y'all was using, he got the nerve to be speaking about recreating something that was already done. Like the whole Reasonable Doubt album that came out in 96 is not a remake of the Delphonics and Motown classics. Look at John Coltrane, music from the 1920s. The album cover, he make it seem like that wasn't from The Godfather, or his whole theme wasn't from old gangster flicks or whatever the case. Listen.
Living it and breathing it. They were fighting against gravity as opposed to telling their story. We needed that other side. We needed to hear about what happens when you've had 4 successful albums.
Who the hell is the we that he talking about? We needed to hear what? From who and why? He talking about we needed to hear the rappers come back out and tell us their experience after going 4 times platinum or whatever, or having 4 albums or whatever the case. That's what interviews are for. And you missed the mark a long time ago. You should have been doing interviews at the height of your career. You should have been sitting down having these dialogues when you was still popping like that in the music industry. You should have sat down and had a long interview after the Hard Knock Life and got into these conversations. Don't do it now, since you seeing that the podcasting is what it's all about. Unfortunately, he know he can't put together another Reasonable Doubt. He know he can't put together another Hard Knock Life, but what he can do is try to craft a classic interview for the Times, with the New York Times on top of that. It's all screaming desperation, and that's what we don't like about it. And platforms are a great thing. When you got something that's really important to say, it'd be better if he would have never even said nothing about rap and let us into what's going on in his world for real. And I'm pretty sure it ain't got nothing to do with no goddamn niggas in Paris or no old album that came. If he want to be authentic, tell us what's going on in the world of Jay-Z as of today. And trust, we not worried about the rap. We can care less about hip hop. We don't care about no albums. We don't care about none of that. We don't care about who produced what, who wrote what, who your favorite rapper. We done with it. Let's move on. He can lead us to the future with another conversation about something besides whatever he's talking about. Have a full podcast about parenthood. I bet people will sit and listen to his perspective of being a parent and leave the Grammys out of it. Hopefully he get the hang of it and realize that, we not the AI. The AI is pushed on us, but hell, have a connect. He's speaking to the algorithm, and that's where he fucked up at. He figured this stuff is going to chart because he's speaking to the system. But hey, your fans, the people that really rock with you and know you from back in the day, we can tell the difference. Now these young fans, unless he must be trying to bypass his core and go straight for a younger audience in order to be trying to pull this off. For the dialogue he putting in place, it got to be for a younger audience. He's trying to relate and adapt to some people that never even experienced life before the internet. Like Marvin Gaye said, man, brother, what's going on? Tell me what's going on for real. That's what we really need to be talking about. Okay, it's a few more things I want to share with y'all. And I want to thank y'all for tuning in, all the people in the live chat. We're about to keep it moving. A few more things I want to share with y'all. Y'all listening? Okay, here we go.
You might be rich and all that, but I'm not. You got the same standards as everybody else. Everybody else got to take a DNA test. Well, I can't run. You know, my son Muji, I couldn't run away and not take the test. I had a bench warrant. But you got so much money, you got to pay the judges. You got all. You can not do every loophole to make you not take it. And the reason why I say that's his son, because he offered him money at first, and his guardian turned it down. Jay-Z don't offer nobody nothing. You mean nothing? You mean young boy? So, but young boy was underage, so it wasn't him that turned it down. It was his guardian. You know what I'm saying? Did he try to give me? So my thing is this: as a man that got children. And I got a couple children that didn't particularly want, but I still took the test, and it was mine. I took care of them, right? And see somebody that got the means to just take care of them, and so when they talk real, like they politically correct and fly and decent and got these morals, I know it's a lie, because nothing come before your kids. If you don't love your kids, how you gonna love anybody? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's how I look at it.
I hear that, man. You know, I interviewed Dame Dash. And when I interviewed him, he was like, man, I think that when his dad left him, it really, like, seriously messed him up.
Jay's cold, man. You know, that thing that happened with his father, you know, just breaking out, you know, when he was young, I think that's really made him very cold. So, like, when he was young, and he tells the story, you know, his mother told him that his father didn't want him no more. And I think his father was very close to him. So I know how close I am to Dusko. So, you know, if I ever would have just said, I don't want you anymore, that would kill Dusko. It would break his heart. Any one of my kids. And he actually lived that. So I just think he had a certain kind of trauma that's, you know, made it where he acts a certain way toward people.
Why is he telling Dame Dash his daddy issues? What part of the brotherhood is that? And look how he's sitting down talking about it, man. I don't like his body language. What is he doing? This some Russell Simmons. He's speaking on Jay-Z's relationship with his daddy. What type of grown man time is that? Man, I'm just confused about a lot of stuff when it comes to these entertainers. Look. Man, I got R. Kelly all up in it. Forget Dame Dash, Aaliyah. Forget Jay-Z, R. Kelly, the New Wapians, Jazzo, and Epstein Island. What type of weirdness is they on? I thought that was the Lil Baby for a second. How weird do weird get? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's a big question. Nobody knew about Dame Dash. Memphis Bleak and Diddy. Or Meek Mill and Diddy. Ain't nobody know what was going on with that. Big L was in the mix. Man, I just don't. You know, you just never know. And I'm not trying to say that they some weirdos or whatever the case, but we all can agree that they're part of a weird industry. You know, it's like if you go to a school that got a reputation and you don't graduated from that school, you an alumni of that school, If that's the school you from, then hell, and you passed and graduated all of the tests and you made it to the top, then hell, you must be with it. And I'm not just talking about Jay-Z and Dame Dash. I'm talking about every entertainer that we've seen on that TV screen. They're all a part of the same industry. And I've heard some bizarre stories from people connected to the entertainment business. First of all, you gotta be a people pleaser. Before you can please the people in the audience, you gotta be able to please the people that's running the damn show. And that's why so many people never was able to make it, because they didn't have the skills to people please like that. And I'm not saying that's a bad skill to have. That's a great skill to have, you know, to have that ability to please people. But how far will you go in order to please people? I think with Dame Dash's behavior, he was the beard for a lot of people, to where you wouldn't even, you know, he played a beard at Rockefeller. The biggest beard you could possibly think of. And I think that's the reason why he was so aggressive with the music executives, the Kevin Lyles, and up in the office screaming and acting the ass, just to create a feel like it wasn't no weirdo shit going on around there. I just can't look at them the same. They was with Diddy back. They was hard body with Diddy back in the day. Look at his face. Man, what the hell was they doing all them years? Matter of fact, I'll do you one better. Look at this, man. Tell me what you think about this. Oh my God, we gonna do two. I'm gonna pull this up. Y'all stay tuned. That's one. Okay, let me get this other one real quick. We're gonna make it make sense. Look, just like with Jay-Z, Kanye West is a hell of a talent, right? But it took for Dame Dash to put him on. The shit we heard about Kanye West, him and his cousin, when he was coming up, he did a song about how he was turning out his own cousin and all that. When they thought them pink polos would hurt The Rock, it was all right behind the scenes. He good in the studio, but don't let that fruity motherfucker out in the public. When they thought that pink polos would hurt The Rock, and then Cam got the shit to pop. Like, if it wasn't for Cam, they would still be in the closet wearing all that pink and doing whatever they was doing behind the scenes. You come in the studio, Mr. Kanye, love your cousin down in there making the beat. Now, this is some other weird time. They gangsters, but they throwing up that Star Trek with Pharrell Williams. Via Diddy brought him around. And Dame was all with it. Pharrell was his mans in them. Hold on. Oh, no. Wait a minute. Put the 3 stacks on it. ATL shouted with the Pink Smoke, The Love Below. Put him on it. All in the same industry. Purple tie, Steve Urkel pants on. The talent is there. Don't get it twisted. The talent is all the way there, but the industry is very questionable. And I'm not saying, okay, let's just say that everybody in the music industry is LBGTQ. That is absolutely fine. And I don't see no problem with that. But the front that they put on. That's the part that I'm disgusted with, if that's the case. And that's from the East Coast to the West Coast. I ain't just talking about Jay-Z, Dame, and them. Y'all got to see this. Hold up. If Jay-Z wasn't talking, we wouldn't be worried or concerned or having these conversations. Look, now y'all know what they said about Dr. Dre. Tupac said it. Suge Knight said it. They went in on Dr. Dre and his sexuality or whatever the case. Tupac, that's a whole nother conversation. The same woman that played a beard for Will Smith also played a beard for Tupac Shakur. Suge Knight, Ray J said he the biggest booty goon he ever seen in his life. Sticks of butter. Then you got Snoop Doggy Dogg with the perm. Tupac with a corset, Snoop Dogg with a perm, and Suge Knight on super booty goon duty. That was the death row. So from the East to the West Coast, man, you just never knew what the hell was going on for real. Doggy Style was his album. And the Dog Pound. Pause. Dog Pound. Them words don't even go together right. So I'm not just talking about Jay-Z. But with him doing all this, he doing these interviews, and he's speaking about working with Dr. Dre, and he's speaking on Snoop Dogg and Kendrick Lamar and all these people. It's just, Jay, just don't do it no more, man. Hold on. That's India Perkins in the building. What did do, India? So much love for y'all, man. I'm about to get out of here. But we're going to talk about it next time, man. Y'all do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what y'all think about all this. And before I go, I got to let y'all know, everything I said in this video is allegations, speculations for entertainment purposes. It's okay to be a Jay-Z fan, but I'm trying to let you know it's going to be hard going back and listening to his music, especially after these interviews. You're not going to find the same, well, I didn't find the same enjoyment that I did back when he was somewhere being quiet. But that's Negro, you know. Hopefully he go back into the shadows and his music had that mystique again. But I doubt it. The damage is already done. But either way, support Jay-Z, listen to his music, watch his interviews, buy his merchandise. I ain't trying to hurt the man cash flow or nothing like that. And it's not like I have the power to hurt his cash flow. And even if I did, that's something that I wouldn't want to do. So shout out to Jay-Z. Y'all be good out there. I'm just voicing my opinion. So much love and respect for everybody that I mentioned in this video, and for all of the people watching the video, especially the people that hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna holler at y'all on